Hey guys, welcome back to 9 Little Aussies. I'm Chrissy. Today I want to share something a bit different with you. It is something that has been on my heart for quite a while. Something I've been pondering, something I feel is necessary to share, but I am a little bit nervous about sharing it. And that is because I feel like it'd be very easy to be misunderstood. And I guess that's always a risk when you put yourself out there. But I'm going to share with you my grocery shopping that I have done this week. It's a pretty big shop. I don't do this every week. And the reason, you might think, well, why? I don't need to see your groceries, which is fair enough. But the reason I want to talk about it is not the specifics of my groceries, but when you are wanting to walk towards health and you're wanting to walk towards cooking with good whole foods and feeding your family nourishing good food, and you are on a tight budget where that you can't kind of go from 0 to 100 in 60 seconds, you have to take baby steps, then it can be discouraging and it can be a little daunting. And we're in a position now where we've actually had to kind of go back a little bit in moving to America. We've made a lot of sacrifices, and that includes in our finances. So we're in a bit of a different position than we were even a year ago when we were in Australia. And we had access to good local farms, not just access, but finances to access the food on good local farms and then grow a bunch ourselves. Our garden's not in yet. And it is a fact that what I have here is not the ideal. It's not. I'm definitely not promoting this as, hey, you should all go and buy what I bought and this is the best way to feed your family. This isn't where I want to be, but this is where we are right now. And I think it's important to make that distinction sometimes and be able to say that, I guess, talk about the difference between good, better, and best. And we can't always jump straight to best. Sometimes we have to be satisfied and content with good. We're certainly not staying in this good position. We are moving as quickly as we can to best, which means growing a lot of this ourselves or accessing it and buying from other farmers who are growing regeneratively, pasture-raised meat, and all of those things that I believe so strongly in, raw dairy. But at the moment, we're just not quite there, and that's okay. In the dairy, we have salted butter. Then my coffee is there. I always like to buy organic coffee, and it is much cheaper at Sam's. Cheese, block cheese. I always buy block cheese and I grate my own. This is Havarti and this is mozzarella, because I don't want the anti-caking agents that are in the grated cheese. Heavy cream, we go through a lot of cream. You can't tell I'm the daughter of a dairy farmer. And sour cream, yogurt, Greek yogurt, the meats. And really this is chosen a lot on, like a chuck roast is only $5.98 a pound, and I can feed all of us relatively cheaply. The cheaper I can get it per pound. Salamis, this is for when we do pizza night, things like that. Bacon, a big roll of mincemeat or grounded beef, as it would be called here. And again, like that will be at least 3 meals with some leftovers and some whole chickens. I always buy whole chickens, not chickens that have been parted up. Capsicum, celery, just the veggies. These spaghetti squash, which I've just discovered since getting here, and I think they're so much fun. I love them. Yellow zucchini, I guess that's what you call that, maybe yellow squash. Broccoli, and this is cool. This is like, I think it's called an acorn squash, and I have never had one before, but I thought it looked really cool, so we're gonna try acorn squash. I don't even know what to do with it. So if anyone has ideas on how I'm supposed to cook this, please tell me. Mushrooms, organic maple syrup that we get from Sam's, and of course tea for husband. Then down here, bulk rice, onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and a big bag of oranges. Any other thing of note, I guess, is yeast. I do a lot of sourdough, but I like to have yeast in the cupboard as well. And this is non-GMO yeast. So that is my little haul for today. So it is now several days later. I got interrupted, as often happens when you're a mum, and I just wanted to come back and finish what I was wanting to say about food and groceries and good, better, best, and this whole idea. So I'm just going to chat while I finish getting this bread going. So where we are right now is not where we ultimately want to be. It is, though, the reality of where we are, financially, physically, and so we are doing the best we can in the spot we're in, and just trying to be faithful with what we have in our hands. Now, what that means is I am making the best decisions that I can with my grocery budget. Usually, one of the things I try to do is shop the perimeter of the store, because a lot of times the perimeter is where you will find the whole foods. So the grocery, the fresh fruit and vegetables, the meats, the veggies, the rice and oats and things. Now, the only thing I really went into the inner shelves for in that shop was probably the yeast and maybe the syrup. But a lot of times the highly processed foods are in the inside shelves. So that's just one little way to help remember it. But I guess the idea being, even though, because the reality is do I want to be eating factory farmed meats? No. Do I want to be eating industrially farmed fruits and vegetables? No, I really don't. But I also know that I have what I have in my hand right now, and I need to be faithful with that. And when you're faithful with the little, you'll be entrusted with more. That has been my experience, and I really think those words are true. So we are at the moment buying our meat from Sam's, but we have a plan to this year get meat chickens happening, maybe a beef cow or two, but these things are going to take time, and so I have to be patient. I spent a lot of years of my life feeling discontent and frustrated that I wasn't where I wanted us to be with our groceries and because I was learning all this stuff. I was learning, oh my goodness, I was reading labels and finding, oh, this is in my tomato sauce, and this is in my mayonnaise, or this is in my bread, or whatever the case may be. And so I wanted to just launch in and go to the best alternative that I could possibly have for my family, which is great. And some people can do that, and that is wonderful. I am really happy for them. But I also know that that was not the case for me. And we had to take incremental steps and just be content doing the best we could with what we had in our hands. Now, that does mean one of the things that is really empowering is, and I started doing, was, okay, what can I learn to make from scratch? And maybe I can't afford the most expensive organic ingredients, but I can learn the skill of making whatever that is. So I learned to make mayonnaise. I learned to make different sauces and breads and things like slowly built my skills. And then as time and finances allowed, we did start buying our meat from a farmer there locally in Queensland who grass-fed, grass-finished all of his animals, and it was wonderful. And we did move to a place where we could have a big veggie garden and grow a lot of our things, but we're back in a situation now where we're not quite there yet, and that is okay. A perfect example of this is, I was just thinking about this, these eggs. So right now we are getting beautiful farm fresh eggs, like about 20 a day. We eat a lot of eggs, but even so, my boys are selling them. And these little trays that you see these stacked in are reminiscent of the days when I had to buy eggs from Sam's because our chickens weren't old enough to be laying yet. And so I had to be content with Sam's eggs, which was not what I wanted, but it's what I needed to do at the time. And now, thankfully, we have this egg bounty of beautiful farm fresh eggs. The same with potatoes. So see this box? This is a box that was gifted to us of Seconds potatoes. They are not organic. They are not, I actually have no idea how they were farmed, but they were given to us, a big box of potatoes. So we've been eating them, but the exciting thing is I have out in the garden just planted a whole stack of potatoes, heaps of potatoes. So hopefully soon we'll be harvesting those and eating all of our own potatoes. So it's just, we've had to take baby steps, be content, and be faithful with what we have. That shop that I am currently doing every week or two at Sam's is not something, and not just Sam's, I buy stuff at H-E-B or wherever, but it's not something I plan to be doing for the long term. We don't plan to stay in this situation. We're actively working towards better options and healthier options for our family. But I think I just wanted to encourage anyone out there who may need to hear this, that it is okay to look at your circumstances. Don't compare yourself to other people who maybe are in a different situation. Maybe someone who lives on a farm and grows all their food, or 90% of their food. Very few people grow all their food. Or compare yourself to the person who seemingly has a huge budget for food and can buy anything they want on the most organic, high price list there is. Don't look at that. Look at what you have in your hand. Educate yourself. Learn about your food. Gain skills. Learn how to cook from scratch. It's so empowering. It is healthier. And slowly, slowly, make these little choices to work yourself towards the better options, and be okay with the fact that you might not get there straight away. That's okay. Every little step you take is a step in the right direction, and the more you can do that with contentment and peace in your heart, the better for you, much better for your health. Stress and worry is one of the worst things for your health. Better for your health, better for your family. I came to the realization quite a long time ago that it was much better for my family to have a smiling, happy mum, content, than a stressed out mum who was trying to be super healthy. It was counterproductive. It was not good for my children or my husband or myself. And just keep taking the next step. And I do believe that when you are faithful with the Lord will lead you to the next step and the next step. And that's what we've seen, and that's what we're excited to see this year as we grow more of our food and take more steps towards good health for our family. Anyway, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts, and I would really love to hear what you have to say on the topic, and if any thoughts or added things you would like to add, please let me know. So thanks for listening, indulging me for a moment on my little soap stand. So go make some bread, walk in the garden, breathe deeply, and do what you can with what you have in your hands. I hope you have a really blessed day, and we'll see you next time.